Honestly, I think that the biggest mistakes that guys make is over pursuing a woman. They don't know when a woman is not interested. They don't know when to make a move. They don't know when to back off. They don't know when to take it slower or speed it up. It's pretty much about pacing. Most guys just don't know about pacing because our emotions causes us to lose control of the most fundamental thing, which is pacing your seduction. Pretty much, I always say that the slower you go, the better. Women are much easier when you go slower. I call it small dick game, where your dick is so small that you got to make sure she's in love with you before she sees that little thing. All right. When she sees it, she's already in love. Right. We all should apply that even if you don't have small dick game. All right. So let's watch what Andrew Tate has to talk about this, has to say about this, and we'll begin. And if you guys want to work with me one on one, go to mindfulattraction.org. And there you'll be able to book a one on one phone call. If you guys have a bad social life, if you guys don't have friends and you want to build a social life where women are in your life, you guys can book a phone call with me and I'll teach you guys how to do that. I mean, pretty much do that. I mean, have a bunch of photos of me just like around people, right? And that's because there's a way to do it. And a lot of you guys don't get women not because not because you're ugly, but because most likely you guys don't have friends and you guys just don't socialize. It's very important, all right? So you can book a phone call with me today. And yeah, let's begin with the video.
Resource you have is your attention. It's the only thing you have. That's the only weapon men have in the sexual marketplace, your attention. Typically, men give attention to get sex, and girls give sex to keep getting attention.
So it's your primary kind of tool or resource.
That's your only resource.
Yeah.
Because even you talk about money and all this shit, that's all garbage. The only resource you have is your attention. And the reason it's so difficult is because now women get so much attention for no reason.
Yeah.
Then why does your attention have value?
Yeah.
So you have to put value on your attention.
Yeah.
So then how do you put a value on your attention? And once again, I explain this in the course by saying everything that's valuable, like gold, is scarce. So I don't give my attention to any girl I'm not banging. I don't follow you on Instagram. I don't fucking like your pictures. Like if we're not talking and literally actively going somewhere, you don't get my attention because that's what gives it a value. And then they start sitting there and start liking your pictures, start thinking this dude ignores me.
Yep.
It's like, well, because I've got too many girls on the roster. Right?
That's actually what we talked about. Watch the video about the woman that talked about how when he ignored her is when she finally realized she liked him. The thing is that sometimes when you spend time with women, it's almost like it's almost like eating without stopping. Right? If you don't eat, if you don't stop eating, you can't process the food, or you'll throw it out. If you spend so much time with a woman and you never back off your attention, she's gonna throw you up. Or it's like sleeping. If you don't sleep and you studied, by you not sleeping, the memories don't get consolidated in your brain. It doesn't get wired deeply. Women need space, which in this case, not giving them attention after giving them attention, in order for them to realize a life without you. Meaning, you give them attention, and sometimes they don't notice how pleasurable the attention is. Right? You get acclimated to things. You get used to things. You don't know how good it is to have a hand until you lose it. Then you pull away out of nowhere, right? Or maybe you made a move and she said no, or maybe she tried to friend zone you, and you completely pull away. You unfollow. You just pull away out of self-respect. A lot of times that's when women start to say, you know what? That person was actually really nice, really sweet. I like that person. And this happens a lot. I mean, again, if y'all don't know me, I coach women. Okay. If you guys look for Mindful Attraction, you see me having 400,000 subscribers, and I worked with thousands of women. And they all tell me the ones that they come to me for, women, like they tell me the guys that they're paying me to get. Remember that. The guys that do that are the guys that ignore them, are the guys that don't give them constant attention, are the guys that are too busy, are the guys that are inconsistent, are the guys that words don't match their action, meaning, baby, I miss you, and then they pull away for 3 days. Those types of things, you give them some validation, but you never give them enough to be fully satisfied. That's what I believe. You don't chase them. You don't give them all of your attention. You chase, but then you stop chasing. Right? I don't know if he talks about that, but it's pretty much you chase and then you don't chase. Right? You have an on and off button. You're going fast and then you go slow. You got to learn how to pace the seduction. Let's keep listening.
Now I ain't got time for you.
They're waiting for that follow back.
They're waiting for
back. You're like, nope.
But most guys are so thirsty.
Yeah.
And because once the girl knows that she could get you, she loses value. No, he wants to fuck me, duh.
Yeah, they want the fantasy, they want the mystery, they want the story.
Absolutely. They want and it's the same with us men.
But let me give a caveat. This is usually for women who don't want marriage, right? Women who want a long-term commitment. I'm telling you, and this is why I coach women, and I know these profiles because I've taken notes. I got you. You know what I'm saying? This works on women who you want something more short-term. women who want long-term things, they have family, they have a dad in their lives. And a lot of the times they tell them, don't, he's wasting your time. And a lot of the times when you don't give them the attention, when you don't chase to a woman who's more traditional, they pull away. Right. So it's kind of, you got to understand who you're dealing with. If you're dealing with a Christian girl, honestly, if you're dealing with a religious woman, you want to give them your attention because it is a little different. They're more open to needy, creepy shit. But if they're not religious, right? If they don't come from an extremely conservative family, then not giving them too much attention actually works. To the highly religious woman, it might backfire on you.
I can say this to all the guys I coach. I say, how many times have you had a girl and she was good on paper, but she was just too available and you couldn't be bothered?
Yeah.
So imagine it from a girl's perspective. You're way too available.
Again, that's for people who just want to, bang. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you're, what I've noticed, and from coaching women and coaching men, both sexes, that the people who want a relationship, who are, because of their religion, right? Everything is out in the open. They sort of want the fact that you want to be available. They want that. They want that openness. Okay, but the good thing for you guys is that that's not most women. Most women are more liberal. They're more open to these strategies. But that's why I gotta tell you, like, you have to be. For example, if you date a Muslim girl or if you date a very Christian girl, what you'll notice is that they're very open. They're very, like, they tell you how they feel about you. Like, they're open to things that most women are not. Like, they'll tell you how they feel about they'll tell you how they feel. In fact, you can easily fuck with them because, like, you could tell them, you could say exactly what they want to hear, and then you do the opposite.
It's not too complicated. And the crazy thing about all of this, and I try and teach this in the courses, if you approach this all like a game and you can be very cerebral about it, that's fine. But if you just make it who you are, it's easier. Yeah. For me, it's who I am.
You're saying, so like, World talks about, like, internalizing it. I think that's what you're saying here.
Well, it's really, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I say this in a good way. He's more of an avoidant attachment style, right? His attachment style is avoiding. He likes his distance. He's very self-motivated, ambitious, right? He likes his space, and that lends for more, like, short-term fun, more freaky girls, right? Nothing wrong with that. I do like that too, right? But the problem with that is that it limits how intimate you could get with a woman emotionally, right? You trade off the physical freakiness with the emotional freakiness. You don't get that emotional connection, right? You for the most part, and sometimes if you keep rewarding your brain with short-term fun, you're not gonna find long-term commitment as pleasurable. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I know a lot of you guys love short term, me too, right? But I'm just giving you guys the full scope of what's expected. Too many coaches just tell you guys the fun part. They don't tell you guys but the fact that if you do this long enough, your brain is going to be wired to find long-term women boring and too difficult, or you get what I'm saying? When in reality, it's really a function of where you are in life. The needy, creepy girl might seem great for you when you're 10 years from now, because your values change.
I've just become that guy.
Yeah.
I'm that guy. You don't want to fuck, I don't want to talk to you.
Yep, fuck off.
That's it. It's not a game.
Yep.
And that's not me being a horrible person. It's like, you don't want what you don't want to give me what I want. I don't want to give you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, your time's valuable. You're going to die someday. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if I'm going to die too.
So when I'm on Twitter and I'm arguing with these feminists, I say I don't have female friends. They're like, "Oh, you're a misogynist." Like, no, I just don't have. I don't want to sit around and buy dinner for a girl I'm not banging. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. If I want to sit and talk, I'll talk to guys. I don't see what I'm talking to a woman about unless it's leading somewhere. Yeah. And girls who just respect men by default end up just fucking loads of dudes because they respect men by default, and any guy who talks to them, and they kind of just fuck loads of dudes.
So you mean like they say they respect men, or you like feel they respect men? Or both?
I don't know. Women who are just too. When any man gives them attention, well, he's a man and I'm a girl, and they just kind of give in too easily. Because look, the idea is we all want our girl to be ours, don't we?
Yeah.
So you don't want some other dude to talk to your chick and she's like, oh, he's a man. So you don't want women to just respect all men by default. You want women to respect you. That's what you want. I like that my woman respects me and hates men. My woman will literally say, "Oh, guys, but I love you. I love you."
Gotcha.
You know, so I don't have a real problem with that. I think the biggest mistake women make is they are terrible at attracting high value men, and then this just distorts their view of men as a whole. Do you know what I mean? So,
and they have a flood of betas too, like distorting their view as well.
There are some things I disagree with him, but we'll talk about that another day. But I do agree with his core message. I just, like anything, you're not going to agree with everyone 100%, right? But I do agree about the fact that you have to reserve your chase, right? You always want to go slower than the woman is. I'm telling you, guys don't understand how much power you gain by just slowing down the leading up to sex and the leading up to getting physical. Because to a woman, it offends her that you're not trying to sleep with her, even if you're ugly as fuck, which is even worse, right? So it's any guy who has done this going slow, or any guy who has small dick game. Let me know in the comments down below, right? I coached a lot of guys, and more importantly, I talk to women. The guys that don't chase, a lot of the times they have girlfriends, right? A lot of the times they're gay. Like, you see what I'm saying? The guys that don't chase, usually they don't chase not because of a strategy, but because there's a hindrance. But why not just assume? Why not just use that as a strategy? If anything, give it 3 months. Try that on the next 3 girls that you meet, and you'll see the difference. All right? It's pretty much the difference between meeting a girl you like and you don't like. You'll notice that the one that you don't like likes you back. Why? Because most likely you just don't chase. All right?
All right, guys, we're going to have a brief intermission so that I can tell you guys about our new bundle that we're doing, where you guys can purchase all of my courses and get it at a discount. So this bundle is pretty much the bundle where you could just buy all of my courses. You could buy Nice Guy, which is a training course on how to come across more assertive, how to come across more confident, how to not give off nice guy vibes. You guys can get access to Dark Game, which is my full dating course on how to meet women in different scenarios, how to attract women, how to make sure you don't come across as creepy, and essentially how to act like a man and not act like a doofus, to be quite honest with you. And you get all of these bonuses, which is the bonuses of Dark Game, the bonuses of Practical Mastery, which is about how to master a skill, Social Mastery, which is how to master your social life, and the Laws of Human Nature, which is a book club videos that I had dissecting Robert Greene's book. All of this is naturally at around naturally is at $346, but you guys can purchase this bundle and get it at what's the price again? Get it at $238 pretty much. So you guys can purchase it right now. It's a money back 30-day money back guarantee. It's a good way to, rather than just buying them individually and paying extra, you guys can just purchase everything at a discount price. Now, the only thing I don't like is the fact that I'm giving you a lot of information at the same time. That makes me kind of scared, because a lot of times people don't do the things that I teach when you get too much information. But I've gotten too many requests to do this, so I'm just satisfying you guys. Purchase it right now by clicking on the description down below where it says purchase the bundle. All right, let's continue with the video.